Hey everybody, welcome back to Mining Standard. That's right, we are doing Standard again. I ran this once during the last Standard format when there was a fun Sultai Reanimator deck, and you know what? I wouldn't be me if I didn't do a Merfolk video, so that's what we're doing. You can look forward to lots of Merfolk. I've been drafting exclusively Merfolk on Ixalan on Magic Online, just forcing it. It's my favorite deck. Is my favorite creature. Silvergill Adept is my favorite card ever printed. Merfolk Branchwalker is pretty good too, though. Anyway, so here we are with Mining Standard, and you know, I'll admit that Merfolk didn't come out of the gates ready to go with a pre-built deck the way, you know, maybe Dinosaurs or Pirates or something did, but we are going to try, and we've got a little something going here. So this is Mining Standard. This is Standard Ixalan Merfolk. Here goes. So at the 1-drop spot, we have Kumina. I don't know. We have the speaker here. It's almost always a 2/2 in the deck. In fact, it would be incredible if it wasn't a 2/2. Something's going very wrong. But this is possibly a modern playable card. I don't know, but it's definitely playable in this standard deck. On the 2-drop spot, we have Merfolk Branchwalker. I love this card. This card is great. This card is probably, I don't know if Green-Blue Merfolk is a thing in Modern, but if it is, this card's in it because it's not quite Silvergill Adept, but it's not that far off, and sometimes having a 3/2 is better than drawing a card, but either way, this card's great. Metallic Mimic is going to be all over the place in Standard. All these tribal decks want Metallic Mimic. Awesome in this deck with 1/1 counter synergies already. River Sink. Now, this is a really interesting one, but it can make an opponent have a removal spell, because if they want to mess around with Long Tusk Cubs and other stuff on the ground you can sort of fight with, you're just going to go off with River Sink here. You know, you followed up with a Rishkar, not a Merfolk, but pretty good with 1/1 counter synergy. Kapala to protect it from removal, Vine Shaper Mystic, put a counter on it. You can go turn 1 Speaker, turn 2 River Sneak, turn 3 Mystic, and you'd be attacking for 1, 2, 3 because of the trigger here. 4, 5, 6 on turn 3. That's pretty good, I would say. Vine Shaper Mystic, very good in this deck. 1 Shapers of Nature here just for the value. Late game card, you know, so on. Now, Herald of Secret Streams. This is sort of your tech in the board stall matches. Not that this deck stalls out a ton on the board, because you know, oftentimes your creatures are going to be turned sideways if things are going right, and your stuff isn't necessarily huge on its own. But Herald of Secret Streams will just end the game if you're in that sort of board parity position. Just creatures 1/1 counters on them can't be blocked, and most of our creatures are going to have +1/+1 counters on them. Now moving up, the Verdur's Gearhulk. Again, just a tech 1 of here that is very good. You can put 4 counters on a River Snake and just get in there for 5 unblockable. And then a Sky Sovereign, because the boat's very good. It's extremely good in this metagame. It just kind of be crazy not to play it. And this is one I've been really happy with here, Nissa, Steward of Elements. So this is great if you are in some sort of parity situation, or even sometimes if you're just on the play and you've had a 1 or a 2-drop and you follow it up with Nissa on 3 and you immediately take it up to 3. Well, then all of a sudden, if they don't kill it immediately, you're looking at just getting to use that ability for value every turn. And worst case scenario, they either trade something for it or maybe they get in at it, but you scry. So I've been super happy with this in this deck. And of course, it can tick up and win the game on its own. It's a great top deck, so on. The ones I didn't touch on here are the Blossoming Defenses, which are very good, especially on something like River Sink that people are going to have to use removal on. What this deck wants to do is get out onto the board early and then use Blossoming Defense and protect against a Braid and things like that when your opponent is really trying to stop you from advancing your game plan. Blossoming Defense is great. Then a few unsummons, because we do have to have some amount of interaction here with our opponent, and possibly need a 3rd unsummon in here. I'm not sure. It would probably come at the expense of the Gearhulk or maybe another Rishkar, because there are 3 of them and it's legendary, so that's kind of questionable. But unsummon, you know, it's a good card in a lot of situations. Pretty good against Hazoret as well when they tap out for it. Final one, Kapala, Warden of Ways. Now, a lot of people have talked about this in Modern, and I will say I disagree that this replaces Cure. I think in most situations Cure is actually better than this, and yes, I know all the reasons that Kapala is good. Trust me, I want to play it, but it's just not better than Kira. However, I do think I will be running a 1/1 split with Kira and Kapala in Modern, because in conjunction, if you have both of them on the field, they're great, and it sort of lessens the downside of either one of them being legendary and having 2 of them in your deck. So that's the deck. Forest Silence, Botanical Sanctum, and Unclaimed Territory. No sweet lands here, unfortunately. It's possible we could get away with running one of the green deserts. Let's try. Let's actually check it out. probably good, right? This seems like pretty free. Sure. Look at that. We're mining standard on the spot here. I don't think you can get away with... sorry, where's the other one here? Obviously, we don't want any of these tap ones. The one that everyone plays where you can exile their graveyard. Anyways, we don't need it. But I do think, why not? You run on one of these, probably can't hurt. After all, when you have River Sink in your deck, which is just unblockable, these pump spells get pretty good. All right, so moving on to the sideboard here. The sideboard, bear in mind, is a complete work in progress. It's a brand new standard format. I'm certainly not a standard expert, but here's where I'm at with the sideboard right now. Okay, so we have for Ramanap Red, because obviously that's a deck you have to worry about here. These are for Harvesters. I think we actually probably match up okay against that deck with our value and can kind of get in there, but Aethersphere Harvester, very good. We have, for the control matchups, Deep-Root Waters. Whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, you get a Hexproof Merfolk. We also have Negates. We also have the Spell Pierce for now. I'm not real sure about the Spell Pierce, but it's sort of a placeholder. We also have Shaper's Sanctuary. Whenever Merfolk, or creature rather, we control becomes target of a spell and ability an opponent controls, we draw a card. So this is very, very good if you play against black-red control. All these things that just want to kill all of your creatures, Shaper's Sanctuary is very, very good in those matchups. Like I said, the Spell Pierce is here, but between Essence Scatter, Negate, and Spell Pierce, you have a lot of options for your counter spells, depending on what your opponents want to do. And then Confiscation Coup. This is for your Team or Energy matchup. Unfortunately, we don't have any other ways to get energy, so we can't ever steal a Glorybringer, which is unfortunate. But we can take their long tusk cubs when they get pretty big, and that's a start. And you sometimes can ramp into it thanks to Rishkar here. So that's the deck. That's Merfolk. We're mining standard. I don't know if the deck's good. I've played a couple matches with it. We'll see. You know what you're getting into up front. We're trying to play Merfolk in standard because that's what I do. So let's see how it goes. Thank you for watching.